Hey guys, so I don't have my studio set up and I don't have a microphone set up yet, but I wanted to make some comments here real quick. When I got up this morning, I had a notification from Alex Jones saying that Hillary Clinton was going to be the Democratic presidential nominee for the Democratic Party. His sources had told him that overnight, and I went and told my wife and thought about it and just kind of let it go as a rumor because we've all heard for the past 9 months that Michelle Obama might be the presidential nominee. Well, I was working on some videos and a notification came in from Candace Owens and saying that Biden had withdrawn from the presidential race. So I clicked on and I watched her video real quick and I clipped out a portion of it. But everybody should go over and watch her comments and see what she has to say. Because she also comments on a bunch of responses to the Biden withdrawal from the election. Um, I'm not surprised. I'm surprised it took this long. When they announced that Biden had COVID initially, I thought the news was like from 2022 or something, 2021. And then when I realized that it was true and that they had sent him home, COVID, really? So, I started thinking about, well, were they pumping too much adrenaline into his system for these public events, or were they possibly telling him that he has COVID and he has to go home and rest so that they can execute a plan to replace him? Because obviously he can't run. So, anyway, let's watch this video real quick. Give me a second here while I pull it up. I just want to watch this clip here.
Let's get into Biden's statement. Tweeted this. My fellow Democrats, I have decided not to accept the nomination and to focus all my energies on my duties as president for the remainder of my term. LOL. My very first decision as the party nominee in 2020 was to pick Kamala Harris as my vice president, and it's been the best decision I've made. Today, I want to offer my full support and endorsement for Kamala to be the nominee of our party this year. Democrats, it's time to come together and beat Trump. Let's do this. Thanks, intern. Appreciate whoever pulled that together. Then, of course, he attached this letter to it. Over the past 3.5 years, we have made great progress as a nation. He goes on to say that America has the strongest economy in the world. I don't know where he's living. We've made historic investments. We've lowered prescription drug costs for seniors and in expanding affordable health care to a record number of Americans. We've provided critically needed care to 1 million veterans exposed to toxic substances, passed the first gun safety law in 30 years. Yeah, we don't want, we understand our government is a threat. Like, being excited about the fact that we're coming after your guns doesn't make me feel particularly good. We've appointed the first African-American woman to the Supreme Court. Yay! And she doesn't even know what a woman is. And passed the most significant climate legislation in the history of the world, also known as we're stealing your tax dollars and convincing you that we can impact the planet. He goes on to write, America has never been better positioned to lead than we are today. And what he means is we're going to need a world war real quick because things are getting real bad. And so we need a reset button. And what better way to reset than war with Iran and Russia, both if we're lucky. Second paragraph reads, I know none of this could have been done without you, the American people. Together, we overcame a once-in-a-century pandemic, which was created by us, the government. I might be adding a little bit of lib here. I'm not reading it verbatim per se. I'm reading it as we're all reading it together. And the worst economic crisis since the Great Depression, which we likely caused too. We've protected and preserved our democracy by continuing to make people believe that there is a democracy. Some people are deluded and are still buying into this illusion. And we've revitalized and strengthened our alliances around the world, meaning we are running a money laundering operation in Ukraine. And don't you dare ask a question about Israel or you're an anti-Semite. He writes, "It has been the greatest honor of my life to serve as your president." That could be true because he won't remember it. And while it has been my intention to seek re-election, I believe it is in the best interest of my party and the country for me to stand down and to focus solely on fulfilling my duties as president for the remainder of my term, which is his nice way of saying the CIA says step aside. Cool. I will speak to the nation later this week. We're working on doses to see how much adrenaline they can get into my butt at once so I can get through a speech. And there will be more detail about my decision, the CIA's decision. For now, let me express my deepest gratitude to all those who have worked so hard to see me reelected. I want to thank Vice President Kamala Harris, who I secretly hate, and she hates me too, for being an extraordinary partner in all this work. And let me express my heartfelt appreciation to the American people for the faith and trust you have placed in me. I believe today what I always have, that there is nothing America can't do when we do it together, which is when the deep state makes decisions and we force you to go along with it. We just have to remember we are the United States of America, currently being occupied by a hostile party in charge. Yeah, I added a little bit, but that I would say is pretty close to verbatim of the statement that he sent out. And here is what I already really hate about this speech, just right off the bat. And I know that so many of you guys can absolutely relate to this. It's just the fact that we are watching a play. We're watching actually House of Cards. I don't remember what season it was, but I'm pretty sure this happened during House of Cards, where a contested convention. And we all knew this was coming again, like I said, back in 2020. And I hate that there are actually people, and I say this with love in my heart, who are watching this as Democrats and going, wow, he did the right thing. Wow, what a brave man. He is just, as soon as he realized that he was not in the best shape mentally, he made a sacrifice and he stepped down and he did the right thing. And that is why I am a Democrat today. Like somewhere in America, that is going down right now. They're having that conversation. Democrat friends are texting. People are that deluded. So back in 2020, when we said, obviously these aren't gaffes, Biden does not have mental faculties about him, we were called mean. We were bullying a senior citizen. We were those angry maggots, as they were calling us, which became a word like maggots that were referred to as for people that supported MAGA. And we were calling this out, and the media instead used COVID to hide him, to make it so that he never had to give any interviews. And people believed that what we were saying was a conspiracy, that clearly there's something wrong with Joe Biden. How could you guys not see this? How could you buy the idea these are all gaffes? I mean, early on in his campaign, he was getting lost on stage. Obama was walking him off stage, guiding him. They would not let him go anywhere, and still they elected him. Like, what does that actually tell you? And of course, they're not voting for Biden. In 2020, we're not voting for Biden. They're voting against Trump because they just hate him so much that they would rather invest in puppetry. They would rather go, I actually don't care who's pulling the strings. I just want to make sure that I don't ever have to look at Trump at all. Like pretending that things were bad under Trump. And so what annoys me about this is that there are people that are going to pretend that this is natural, that they all just at once saw this happening, and right after the debate, they all made the decision to do the right thing. Where in reality, the decision was made before the debate to get rid of Biden. They signed up for the debate because they had made the decision to get rid of him. And as I have said to you guys, this is all now just a performance. It's a performance. Notoriously, by the way, George Clooney, the actor, remember he did the New York Times op-ed, calling for him to step down after the debate performance. And then in that op-ed, he lists this.
So go over to Candace's channel, follow, and watch the rest of this video, and stay tuned, because the election is getting ready to, the heat is getting ready to get turned up on the election.